Now let's check in on Pope Leo. Let's have a look at this footage of him blessing a block of ice at a Vatican climate change event. I mean, really? We have Christians under attack from the US to Africa to the Middle East, and this is what the Pope is doing. CJ, he also attacked climate skeptics and said that we have to listen to the cry of the earth.
You know, I'm not a Catholic, so I'm going to leave it to my Catholic brothers and sisters to hold their own to account. But what I will say is you would think, as you rightfully pointed out, that there would be bigger priorities for the Pope, right? You know, you have Christians being massacred all across the world. Where is his speech on that? Where is his remarks on that? Today, I, saw, a statement he made about the treatment of illegal aliens in America. You know, illegals are being deported and sent back to the country from which they came. They broke our laws. We treat them like criminals, just like we would treat a criminal who was an American in this country. There's no reason that we should hold to a higher standard to give better treatment or quality to illegal aliens who have no respect for the rule of law or law and order in this country. And so I think the Pope should stick to religion. I think he should stick to, teaching, the Bible's good word. And I think he should leave the political statements to, well, the politicians.
I'm a Catholic. I'm a mackerel-snapping papist. And I think Papa Leone, the Holy Father, is in the news for a couple reasons. One, because he was at some environmental event and he blessed ice, and people are very upset at him for this. And I don't know why. I mean, I suppose it looks a little odd to bless ice, but, popes and priests generally bless water all the time. We have holy water. It's a sacramental the minute you enter a church. So I don't know. To me, that seems like a tempest in a teapot.
And this piece of ice from a glacier represents the cry of the earth.
We invoke the call of prophets. I would now like to invite you to stand for the blessing of the waters.
Laudato si, mi Signore, con tutte le tue creature.
May these voices of hope rise as one. May they echo beyond this gathering and into every corner of the earth. Amen.
Amen.
Pope Francis joined Amazonian church workers and indigenous people on October 4th to plant a tree in the Vatican gardens. The event marked the feast of St. Francis of Assisi. He also consecrated the Synod for the Amazon to St. Francis. The Synod will be held at the Vatican from October 6th through October 27th. About 20 delegates from Amazonian countries opened the ceremony, singing and dancing around a mandala of Amazonian symbols. The symbols included a banner with a photograph of Sister Dorothy Stang, a missionary from Dayton, Ohio, who was murdered in Brazil in 2005 because of her defense of small farmers' land rights. Members of various church groups brought offerings of soil from symbolic places, including the Amazon, which has a rich cultural heritage but is also a land where martyrs have died. Soil also came from India, a country vulnerable to climate change, countries where people are trafficked or forced to migrate, places where young people participate in climate change demonstrations, and the Shrine of the Renunciation in Assisi.
Once I spoke with an astronaut, just came back from the moon with the stars in his eyes. He said, out there I learned a lot. Something changes inside when you see the earth rise. You can feel it in the breeze, touch it in the trees. You hear the waterfall, love is underneath it all. It's running in the fields, it's swimming in the deep, beneath the blue and green, connected everything. Come create a spirit, fill us with your love, guide us on the narrow road to heal our common home. You can feel it in the breeze.
What started as a spark has become a global flame, uniting many people, millions of people, Catholics, Christians, people of all faiths, our partners from secular climate organizations, and all people of goodwill who share our common dreams. We do it by honoring the wisdom of indigenous peoples.
Together we can accomplish our goal. The Catholic Church has 1.4 billion members. 1.4 billion Catholics out there. 400,000 priests. 600,000 nuns. 200,000 churches. Now think about that. That power, and for that be involved in our movement, in our environmental movement. Federal government is not really for the environment. What should we do? I say stop whining and get to work. Each and every one has the power. The federal government doesn't have the ultimate power. The states and the local governments do. We have the power. This is one of the most important things, is communication. You have to communicate the right way. When we started our environmental movement in California, when I became governor, people were not behind us. I said to myself, why is that? We're talking about climate change. 20% of the people said, yeah, this is kind of dangerous. Or you need more than 50%, right, to get anything done. So we talked then about the rising sea level. Nothing, the needle didn't move. We talked about the glaciers melting, the ice is melting, the polar bear is in danger. No matter what we said, it didn't move the needle, nothing happened. But then the American Lung Association sent us a television commercial, little commercial that showed a kid, a little tiny kid, trying to inhale almost was impossible, and then this child faded. We don't know what happened. Did it die? Did it pass out? Or whatever. That little spot we put right away on television, and all of a sudden everyone got interested, and we had 62% of the people behind us going with the environmental laws, and that's how we were able to succeed and to pass all of those environmental laws.
I forgive him.
So communication is so important. So we got to talk instead of the brain, we got to talk to the heart so that people understand it.